Okay, welcome everyone to our Q&A with some employees from Asha Handicraft they're a producer for Serrv, Serv's largest producer of fair trade goods. And we're here with Ivan and Allan. We're gonna have them introduce themselves and we'll get this Q&A started.
Hi, I'm Allan Almeida and I'm working with Asha Handicrafts for last 13 years and I'll be looking after the artisans welfare and fair trade monitoring part of it.
Hello, my name is Ivan Carvahlo and I have been with Asha Handicrafts for last 18 years. I head the organization as a post of general manager. So I have been working with this organization for a long time, knowing not only the organization's mission and vision, but also the work that Asha Handicrafts has been doing with artisans, with more than 800 artisans, especially in the country of India. And I think it's spread across the country. And I think that is a privilege that we get to work here, because we are not only working with a small section of the society, but we are working with, got to work with a section of different culture, different caste, different reformers of the society. And as you all know, India is so huge. We have more than 30 states in the country, and every state has their own speciality, especially with the language, with the food, with the culture, and a lot of things that comes within the country, which gives us a pride to work along with this and get to know about different art and culture within them. So I think this has been one of the memento that we have achieved, especially myself have achieved in these 18 years while working with Asha Handicrafts. And the main mandate basically has been to support and promote fair trade. And there has been many organizations, not only in our country but across the worldwide, who are part of fair trade fraternity, who has been also working along with us. And it's privilege today that we are on the call with one of our largest partner, Serrv International, with whom we have been selling our products or working in partnership from our inception. So we started our organization in 1975. So our organization, that is Asha Handicraft Association, has been in existence for last 46 years. And in these 46 years, we have been working with Serrv International. So this is the longest partnership that we have ever had with any of the organizations. So it's really a privilege to be on a call and on a discussion to share more about the art culture, as well as the Indian artisans.
Very good.
That's awesome. Thank you all so much for being on with us. Anyone can chime in with a question, but I'll ask a question just to get us started. So my question is, what brought you to this work? Like, what journey in your life, or what event, or just what brought you to where you are and to Asha Handicrafts and what you're doing at Asha?
Well, so myself and Allan, we both have actually done our degree in social work. So we are bachelor's degree in social work, and our always has been a passion to work for the society and to the community. When we were in the college, we have been working with many organizations when the natural calamity hit it in our country. So it might be earthquake that has happened in our country in Gujarat, or maybe a storm has happened maybe in Orissa, or maybe the tsunami waves that came in Kadalur and south of India, maybe just 5 years back. So I think these are some of the natural calamities that has happened, and we ourselves through our churches has volunteered to many organizations, and one of the organization was Caritas India. So Caritas is also a Christian-based organization with whom our churches are working. Myself and Allan, we both are Catholic, and we do a lot of work with our church. And through the church, we got the opportunity to go through Caritas India, to visit this many places. And when we visited them, or when we have been working, there was many other organizations also who has impacted us, such as Catholic Relief Service or Lutheran World Service. So they were also there. AFICOR was also one of the Christian-based organizations, who has been doing a lot of work for the community and charity. So this was one of the things that has impacted our lives, and we decided to go and do a bachelor's degree in social work. So that was one of the passion for us, a movement for us through the churches that has brought to us to this community. And once we finished our course, the degree, that is the degree in social work, we got an opportunity to work with an organization, that is Asha Handicrafts, to work not only in the social work department, but also to work to the livelihood of the people, providing employment, providing them trade, and helping them to be self-sustainable. So I think this was some of the thing was maybe we might have missed if we have joined some other social organization, which was basically only a charity. Maybe they might be getting some funding and then they community. But when we got associated with Asha Handicrafts, it changed completely, and it made us stick there for a longer time, because it was not only providing charity, but it was providing livelihood and helping the people to become independent and become self-dependent. So I think that has become a passion for us to remain in this organization for a long, long time.
So what was the story about Asha doing jewelry? How did they come about making jewelry? And did you make jewelry before you started working with them?
Well, so as part of production unit, we have been only working with different art and craft people from across the country. So it's not only one part of products that Asha produces. So Asha itself is not manufacturing anything, but Asha works with small group of artisans who are located in different slums in the cities, or maybe in the rural parts, or maybe in the tribal zones, or in the villages. And we go and identify those people who have the art, who have the craft. So it may be jewelry, it may be the wood, it may be the textile, which is block printed or screen printed, but anything and everything that involves hand. And that is something that we have always focused and try to see how Asha can pick up those artisans who has hand skilled, who has art, and who can actually get that into a good product that is a sellable product, which has a good quality, designs and ethics, and that can be sellable products. So I think Asha has not manufacturing anything, but it is creating people to help them to manufacture products or develop products that has a market value. It's not a charity, it's not something which is a free gift, but it is something, the product that will have a really value and a utility for the consumer to buy it and sell it.
So Asha is what we call an umbrella group. So they're the main exporter and marketer. They take care of all the logistics, everything, find all these different producers all over the country of India, and then facilitate getting their product to market. So we are able to work with Asha, and then they connect us with all of those littler groups that don't have the means to bring their product to the market internationally, and all that involves. Yeah, and like Ivan was saying, that they do all different types of products, and so Serrv carries almost a very large variety of the type of products that Asha makes. Whereas a lot of our other groups, we just buy one specific type of thing from them, but we really have a large variety from Asha. And my go-to with them is definitely always textiles, because their textiles are incredible. Almost all of our kitchen textiles are from Asha. All the beautiful block prints and different, that's like the cranberry tablecloth and the napkins, and all the Dabu print. Very huge successful product line for us is this Dabu print, and it's incredible process and technique. I just love that product. So yeah.
I think about 90% of the product that we produce or make, the categories, is being purchased by Serrv.
Yeah.
So maybe there are just few products categories that Serrv may not be buying.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's so cool. This is so informative.
Very good. I appreciate your passion, and through your passion, you're able to help and empower lots of people. I was wondering if you could share a story of someone's life you have changed through your appreciation of their artistry and ability to give them some sustainable money for their families.
Well, so there is one artisan story I would like to share, and this is the product. I don't know if you can see this product. It's a spectacle stand, a wooden spectacle stand.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's called a
Big
nose mat.
nose. So you put your glasses.
Nose.
Yeah.
Put the glasses on, and I think this is one of the very successful product. But also, this is something that has really brought impact not only in one artisan's family, but many artisans' families also. So this product was created by one of our artisans, UP Dastakar, yeah, and he is based in north of India in a village called Saharanpur. When he started working with us, he was really in debt. He was an artisan who was supplying products to local exporter. Unfortunately, these local exporters, they don't pay them any advance, so they take the products and maybe after 30 days or 60 days or sometime after 90 days, they pay them their bills. These artisans got very badly impacted where this local exporter just got vanished, and a big consignment which he supplied to the local exporter, he was not able to get money and he was in debt. And that's the time when he got to know about Asha Handicrafts, because in this same city in Saharanpur, a small village, one of our staff is also working, because we have located Asha's staff representative to work in these major cities to see what are the problems and difficulties. So through this staff, these artisans came to know about Asha Handicrafts. We started working with him. He started making different type of puzzle games, different type of coasters, different type of photo frames. But in 1998, he made this product called Nose, a spectacle stand, which boomed up so much that in span of 10 years, he might have sold maybe about 200,000 pieces of this spectacle
Wow.
stands.
Wow.
And till now, this is 2020. I think it's about 28 years. Every year, we get orders for more than 15 to 20,000 spectacle stand. It may be in Canada, it may be in US, it may be in Europe, or it may be in Australia. But people buy this the super looking unique handmade artisanal product, and people can still use, and everyone might be buying 5 tens because they can take this product, keep it in a living room, maybe in a kitchen, maybe in a dining room, so everywhere they go, and it's such a good looking product that people can use it wherever they want to use it. This
Very
man,
good.
by the time he got out of debt, we helped him out to set up his unit, his own unit, which was his dream. He took some loan from the bank, and then he took some loan from Asha, and we helped him out to develop this unit. Unfortunately, in 2012, with an heart attack, he passed away. He had 5 children, um, 3 boys and 2 girls, and 1 wife, as
Yeah.
ma'am said. But I think, this big family of 5 children and a wife, and children were very small. Maybe the oldest son was about 15 years by that time. And we were very concerned that how to continue this business, because the only bread and butter for this family was only this handicraft business. And we were the only buyer for this producer group or artisans group. In some time, our welfare department, along with Alan and the team, we tried to set up the whole of helping his wife to take on, because there was no one elder in his family. And his wife, for some years, just tried to, because she's not very literate, she's not in a business field, she has never been with her husband in the unit or production unit. She has been always at home taking care of her children, taking care of her children's food and schooling and other things. So that was very difficult and tight time when there were orders with them, and communicating with them or getting orders or handling the finance was very tough job. 2 years, 2012 to 2014, it was a struggle time. And then from 2014, their son was brought in. He was just 17 years, which was also not an age which we calculate in India to start working actually. Because in India, we says it should be minimum 18 years if anyone wants to start work, or minimum 14 years if anyone wants to start under the training, a skill training. So we still put the faith and took a risk to employ him so that someone can take on the business for a longer time. And today, his both the sons are in business and they are handling this business properly. And we are trying to see how we can sustain them for a longer time and see how this business flourish, so that not only they, but their younger daughters who has to get married, they have to finish their education, they have to pay the loan and other things that has to be burdened. And I think that is something that we are trying to look for this artisans group in the coming years. So there is a lot that has been done, which was a sudden actually. This things doesn't happen, or this is not anything planned, because their father passed away suddenly with heart attack, leaving them with no one to take care of that. So this is one of the story which has been there. This producer has been there for last 28 to 30 years, we can say now. So it's not only the bonding only with the product, but it is the bonding with the family, to understand them, to know them, and to take them out of this danger situation.
Well, thank you for doing that. That's it. It's touching many generations. So thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Ivan, I wondered the wages that the artisans earn, how does that generally, if you can say, compare to other traditional jobs in the culture, like farming or teaching, construction? You know, how does that compare?
Well, so in terms of wages, there are two levels that we practice in our country. One is the national minimum wage that is being decided by the Indian government. And then the other is state minimum wage. So the whole country has a minimum wage bar that has to be followed. And every state, because we have 30 states in our country, and every state also has a power to maintain a minimum wage. So we follow both the minimum wage thing to see what should be our benchmark when any wages to any of the artisans working with us. So in the work what we do with our artisans, there are again three different levels. The skilled artisans who has been working for last 15-20 years and who has skilled, who can produce product, very skilled products, very professional products, and they can earn more higher than the minimum wages. Then there is a second level, which is a semi-skilled, which has been working for maybe about 3 or 4 years and 5 years, and they're still into learning process, but they can still produce some product, and we term that as an semi-skilled artisans. And then they earn also more than the minimum wages. The third level that we have is unskilled artisans. So those are the artisans who are just joined, or maybe working, or maybe doing some odd jobs or labor work, or maybe polishing work or packaging work, which may not be involving any art or any skill, professional art or any skilled job. So they are always getting more than the minimum. May not be higher, bit minimum, because that is something that we try to practice in fair trade. So in fair trade, we say fair wage is something that has to be at least more than the minimum wage that we need to pay to our artisans. And that's how we try to monitor in terms of, and we mostly focus on the state minimum wages, because it is easy, because there are many states where the minimum wages are very low. There are many states which the minimum wages are very high, because the cost of living in those states is also high. And that's why there is a differentiation. So go to south of India, the minimum wage will be lower. And when you go to north of India, the minimum wages will be little high. So every state will practice the minimum wage, and artisans will practice the minimum wage in their own locality. So that's how we try to maintain. Again, our artisans are also working in 3 different levels. There are some artisans who are working month-wise salary. There are some artisans who are getting daily paid. So I worked throughout the day, my salary, and I'll go. And there are many artisans who work on a piece rate. So if I'm producing, so they take the work at home, and if I'm producing these 50 pieces, I will be paid for this 50 pieces labor work. So there are 3 different level of artisans who have been paid in different wage formats also.
Great.
Yeah, I would say handicrafts is very different from like a lot of the jobs that you compared to because of the piece rate instance. That is very, very common. It depends how much you get paid per piece. It's not an hourly thing, you know, it's how many pieces you're able to finish your part of, that kind of thing. And also it's not, it's all trade craft, not something where anybody needs to go get a certification or education for. So they always want the artisans to be able to get education that they need, or very importantly, have their children and stuff get their education and stuff. But the artisan themselves doesn't need a teaching certificate or a certain level of education to be doing the work, at least starting out. So.
But I think also adding to what Liz says, that piece rates works more with women's also, because these women's are, we are working with one producer group, the artisan group in Mumbai itself, in the slums of Mumbai. And there are about 45 to 50 women artisans who knows the skills of making jewelry. But unfortunately, because of the family responsibility, taking care of their children, making food and washing clothes and utensils and other things, these women are not able to come to the job throughout the day. So in this condition, many women come at the unit, they take their work and they take the work at home and make the jewelries whenever they get time. And I think it is something that we wanted to promote, because this gives 2 things. One is women giving and self dependency, that we can also do something and earn some money for our family and contribute towards family. Secondly, this will help and empower women, that they also have some money that they can get it for using for their own, and feel self reliant and self think that we have done something for our also family. So this give an opportunity when it is piece rate for many women who may not be working throughout the day, but maybe in a day they might be working 3 hours or 2 hours or 5 hours whenever they get time, free time at home, and get some products done that can some money.
That's a huge facet of fair trade with women's empowerment, is just the ability for women to work. It's in all fair trade companies, giving them different types of opportunities so that they are able to contribute to their household, which elevates equality in economies and cultures across the board. That's just a big part of fair trade and women's involvement and how it benefits.
That's great. That's really interesting and helpful to hear about, like, the flexibility around that, and that's how you can get a lot more women working in fair trade. I know we work a lot with Catholic Relief Services, and they talk about how one of the most important ways to empower a community in their own development is through the women. That's like the targeting the women and helping the women do what they think is right for their family and their community is how it gets done. So I love to hear that.
Yeah, because in the COVID, in fact, if you see because of the COVID lockdown, many of these women's husbands are not able to go out to work, but these women were able to work from home and earn some money. Really something good stories that we got from our women to learn, that they are powerful than men today's time, because they can still get some work at home and do, but their husband cannot do because they are only doing work at the outside itself. So I think that was this women when they shared the stories with us.
I was wondering, how do you find new artisans? Is it word of mouth? Are you going to a lot of, shows or, sales and finding new articles? How do you find new talent?
Well, so there are a couple of things that we try to do when we identify any new artisan group. The first level is whenever we wanted to see some new products, because there are many communities with whom we are working, they are trying to do the same products. But if we have to know what are the other states, because we as Asha has not reached to many states. We have been working about 12 states in the country, but there are about still 18 states which are untouched by us, which we have not started working with any artisans. So what we try to do is that we try to participate in the state exhibitions or emporiums or state handicraft board. We approach them and try to see what are the different type of craft available in that state and who are the master artisan or master craftsmen working in that area. So we try to reach out to those areas through our staff, through our welfare workers, through the exhibitions that we go and visit them, and try to see how we can identify new product line and new products, so that there are two things. One is that new artisans will come to know about us, and we can introduce new products to the market also. Because then do that, then there is something that we create an opportunity, because being a marketing organization, our mandate is not only just to help the existing producers, but keep moving on to many other artisans and producers who doesn't get this opportunity to be part of it. So this is the first level that we try to do. The second level is there are many producer groups or artisans who try to contact us through the internet, because we have our website about handicraft and artisans. So there are many artisans group who sees about us, and then they try to communicate or write an email or call us or come and meet us. And the third thing is that there are many producer groups within the same locality with where we are working already. They have known about Asha, because wherever we have gone, we have started the community programs, the community projects, help to the artisans, we are promoting fair trade. So that's how many people in the community knows about Asha. And that's why many people wants to come and join Asha to get the product and sell in the international market. Yeah. So I think that's also word, mouth to word, that we can say that helps us to know many artisans who comes to us.
Like in Saharanpur, how many wood groups are there?
There are about 10 producer groups in Saharanpur in wood, and there are about 2 producer groups working in metal, recycled metal.
I bet that was almost all word of mouth, right?
Yes. So it's about 12, and 12 producer groups employing more than 160 artisans.
Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth, I have a question for you. How on the Serrv website, if something's marked India, is it likely from Asha Handicrafts?
So we used to specifically label which group made what product. And we've recently stepped away from that just because of competitiveness in the market. And sometimes you do get customers who try to circumvent you and go directly to producers. It does happen. So we've just been a little bit more cautious and protective of our groups lately. But let's see. I mean, we have 6. We have 6 groups that we buy from in India. And 40% of our overall inventory is from India. And so I would say 40% of India is Asha, maybe. Probably about that, so you wouldn't be able to totally bank on it, but like I said, there's certain categories, like all of the printed textiles are pretty much all from Asha. A lot of the wood product is from Asha. All of the Kashmiri painted product is from Asha. All the really cool Easter intricate painted stuff, and we have some Christmas like that too. That all comes from Asha. Some jewelry, we don't do as much jewelry anymore, but yeah, so it's kind of a variety, but there's some things. All the throws, the recycled cotton woven throws. The sari product doesn't come from Asha. Any of the recycled sari is from our producer Sasha, which is similar but a different group in India. So
I have a question for the group, for Asha. So maybe I missed it, but do you do trainings to the producers?
Yeah. So every year there is one training called producer meets. So we work with about 55 producer groups across the country. So 55 artisans group, and this 55 artisans group employs more than 800 artisans all over. So every year we have one training program called Producer, where we invite all the 55 producer groups at one place, maybe in Mumbai or maybe in different parts of the country. And we conduct 2 days trainings for them, talking to them about designs, packaging, quality, fair trade, welfare, and legal aspects, because nowadays REACH has come out very strongly. REACH means about testing of every product that we monitor. And every producer needs to be trained and well known about lead, cadmium, nickel, azo-free. And these are some of the things that we try to continuously educate, because every now and then there are some of the other problems that happens in the raw material. And we need to continuously educate our artisans on the legal aspects also. So these are some of the trainings that we conduct by default every year for all our 55 producer groups. But besides this, we also conduct very small trainings at each producer groups for their artisans. So maybe one producer group has 10 artisans or 15 artisans. So our welfare workers, our staff goes and conduct trainings with them. But those trainings are not muchly on quality or business. Those trainings are much more on the health aspect, empowering them on education, helping them to do savings, helping them to see how they can have their own saving to build their house. So there are many things which helps them out for their own personal growth and personal development. And I think that is something that we try to do sometimes along with their wife and their families also.
Okay, thank you. Because I was wondering if if they are not trained on other aspects, like they will stay at the same level producing, but if they are educated on how to do savings and to do some management of their things, they will grow and get to something bigger than.
Yes. I think very good and valid question, ma'am, because I think there are a lot of success stories, because we have been giving this not only training, but we give educational assistance to our artisans' children to help them to go to the school. There are so many success stories that every year there are so many who has passed out graduation, who has passed out with MBA. There are some of our artisan children who has done the doctorate. So they are into medical and they are doing, so they don't want to come to their father's profession or their forefathers' profession, but they wanted to get educated and do some other big profession like engineering. And so I think there are a lot of so many success stories that is there, where our artisan children have grown, and today some of them have taken over the father's business, or some of them has stepped into other professions which has helped them to grow their family in a different way. So every year, more than 220 artisans' children we support by giving educational assistance. So it's a big chunk of money that goes through the fair trade products that you purchase and we get profit. And I think everything that goes into education or health or improvement or their artisans has really shown, which has changed their lives. I think 35 years or 40 years Asha's existing, many artisans have come, many have gone, many of their children have flied away, they have gone into different streams, some have gone abroad, some have gone and started their own business. So those are a lot of good success stories through
Very
the
good.
training.
And also within just workshops and, you know, the workers themselves starting out very small, and then it's just them, and then they grow to employing 20 people, and they have a nice big workshop, and they, you know, are very self-sustaining, so lots of growth within, and then the people underneath them also get to move up and have that advancement. But one problem that I always concern myself with all of the children being so successful is the lack of interest in continuing their parents' handicraft. We always talk about this is a serious concern in fair trade. So those businesses have to be lucrative, and so that the children, at least one child in the family, wants to carry it on or continue with that, so they don't all say, no, we don't need handicrafts anymore, we need to all be doctors.
Yeah, many people wants to, Liz, I want to add with you that many people also wants to now go away from the handmade integrate style that was earlier. People wants to move on to semi-machinized products, semi-mechanized products. So they wanted to make their product a little faster so that it can turn around the business. But at the end of the day, it is a machine-made product, and it has lost the aestheticity or value of like handmade carving or hand block printing or handmade jewelry, which is now converted to maybe semi-mechanized or mechanized production for getting the faster money that is required. Yeah. So there is some change. We really don't know how to manage that or how to control that, because fast life, many of the young generation wants fast money or money to go faster in their life. Yeah, they have a lot of not only needs but a lot of wants. Big mobile. Yeah.
It's a
So
hard
many change in requirements. Yeah.
So my question is a little more like just about you all. What's your favorite part of this job?
Maybe Alan can share about him.
Favorite job may be going in the field and meeting artisans and talking to them, seeing them working, and going to their family, meeting the family, find out what are their needs, and try to get the support from the Asha to support the artisans to give them education or medical or anything they want in a workshop, health and safety or anything related to the artisan. To looking after the artisans and their welfare, their social needs is my job. So I really like that thing, going out, reaching out to the more artisans, giving them more benefits and all that. So business is there, but artisans part is very special for me. So I'm there in organization to look after the artisans.
So Alan, has that been limited for you during COVID? Have you been able to visit as many groups?
No.
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 From
Yeah.
March onwards, I have not been visited anyone.
Same.
So
I mean,
we
nobody is traveling here, so it's the same there. I know, all
Yeah.
shut down.
Also,
Enjoyed traveling. We really enjoy because it gives us a pleasure to go and visit different places. But to know the different art and culture, I think that is something that we say. This is something that we love in our job, that we get chance and opportunity to mix up, to taste variety of food wherever we go. Their culture, the warm welcome. When we visit our artisans' houses, they always offers us chai, the tea, and you in a day you visit 10 artisans' houses and you'll get 10 teas. In fact, so
That's
I
my
think
favorite
that's
part.
so that's really nice that they respect us. The way that they welcome us, their heart. So they're very poor, but at the same time they are well respected also. So we love all that when we travel and when we go around and when we meet and interact with them. So that's the loveliest part of the job that we try to do.
That's awesome.
I was curious, how big is the staff at Asha?
Yeah. So our office is located in Mumbai, which is the heart of the city actually. And in this main head office in Mumbai, we have about 50 staff, 50, and there are about 5 staff who are located in different craft centers from where the products are coming in. So we have one staff located in north of India, that is in Saharanpur. There is another staff in Jaipur, another staff in Agra, one staff in Muradabad, and one staff in south of India. So we have located this staff because these are the location from where many of our artisans are working and making and producing the products. So we want someone of our representative be there to take care of their problems, logistic issues, product issues, or welfare issues, and everything. So we have some representative with whom our artisans can communicate and they can get those information to us. So that's all together we have about 55 staff. In Mumbai office, we have 50 staff because all the products from different parts of India comes to the Mumbai office, and the seaport is in Mumbai. And all these products which comes from different artisans group are all opened up and all done the quality inspection, checking and labeling. And we wanted to be very thorough in terms of what products that we wanted to send to our customer should be of perfect quality, super quality, so that it doesn't have any rejections or damages that happens once the product reach there. So that is something that we wanted to do very thoroughly, and that's why we have about 30 staff in Mumbai office itself out of 50 are only working on quality inspection, checking, labeling, and packaging. And I think that's the majority of the job, which the artisans may not have that skills to do that. Their packaging, their finishing products and other thing is not something that they have learned. They're still at a minor level.
And it is very important, the QC. I mean, we ship products to individual customers and we do a lot of wholesale, to stores that are very, very particular, and they want, people want their product to look like it looks on the internet, even if it's handmade, which is fair. We want it to be accurately represented. So we're very serious about that. And we ship about at least 4 containers full a year from product from Asha. So it's a lot of things to go through.
Yeah. I think this year it was about 80,000 pieces altogether. 80,000 pieces, including fall and spring. Okay. So I think that's a lot of products.
Just for Serrv. There's a lot of other customers too.
So my question, and we'll end soon because I realize it's getting late at night there for you all. But my question is about where you all are located, and is that where you're from, and what's your favorite thing about where you are or about where you're from?
Yes. So as I already said, we are located, actually my place, the name of my village is called Bhuigaon, which is very close to the city of Mumbai. It's about 30 kilometers away from Mumbai. But luckily our office is very close to my house. It's about 12 to 13 kilometers. So for me, going from home to office or office to home, it's just 25 to 30 minutes travel time. This is the place which I have been born and brought up, and have been my fathers, my forefathers, everyone has been into this place itself. Maybe we might have changed the houses, but in the same village we have always stayed. I love this place because it's all a village, and there are many people in our village who are still doing the agriculture, the farming, and it's all covered by different vegetables or rice grown or different type of things grown in the farms. So we get fresh farm vegetables and fruits inputs and everything, that it's nice. Also, it is again nice because we stay with our joint family. So me, my mom, dad, my brother and his family. It's always like a joint family that we have always stayed together. And that really gives pleasure when we come back from home, because you don't need to worry if I have to leave my children, my mom and dad are there to take care of them and other things. It's very, also it is on the coastal line, so sea is also just 2 kilometers away from my village, so we can go on the beach, we can go on the sea. So it's really nice to be at this place, at this location, which has been a good blessing. And we have, every village has a big church, and we are all bounded through that church facility. And the church really helps us to give us a lot of things that we require in our life, including the spiritual as well as social as well as the career ways, pathways, and that has really helped to bound the whole society together. And I think that credit goes only to church, otherwise we would have gone to maybe to the city or maybe to different places. But this is something which has helped by church to remain in the village and create a city within the village itself.
That sounds amazing. Makes me want to go live there.
You all are most welcome on a tour.
How come you've never taken me to the beach?
Oh my girl, you come for 2 days, super busy.
That's great.
Come 2 days, and her job is morning 8 o'clock we start, and evening 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. We are super busy with selecting product, seeing the product, modifying product. Because in Bombay office, we have a showroom where we display all our new products. And every year we develop more than 4,500 or 5,000 new products. So it's like so many products to go through and select it and modify and changes. So I think a lot of work when Liz comes along with us.
Wow. So just being sensitive of time, maybe we just have one more question. Does anyone have one more question they want to ask?
Well, I'm curious, do the artisans ever ask about the people that, you know, buy their products or utilize it? Do they have an opportunity to hear from, you know, the consumers about how they like the product or how they use it?
Well, so actually it doesn't happen more frequently, but I think many of our customers every year do come and visit not only us, but try to visit our producer and artisans group. So every year there are at least 2 or 3 customers who comes and go and visit our production unit, our artisans, the place, the artisans' houses and everything. So that is one interaction that artisans get to know who are their buyers, who are the consumers, and whom they are making the product and selling the products. That's one thing. The thing is that we always pass on the information or stories or video clips that we get from your side to show it to our producer group when we have a training or a program, and tell them who are the people whom we are selling your products. Yeah. And the third way is only when we send out the annual reports and other thing, magazines to the production unit to show them how the things are happening, or maybe some charity work has come in. There are many customers who helps us by giving a small donation, like Serrv International, or maybe 10,000 villages in the US, or maybe El Punte in Germany. They are always raising some of the other funds which they try to transfer to us to help the artisans families, such as giving them solar lanterns, or helping them to buy maybe water filter, or helping them to renovate their toilets and other thing. So whenever we have small programs like this, we go and share about Serrv, the consumer, the people who buy. So these are the small events which helps us to get back to artisans, to tell them about who are your consumers, who are supporting you, who are helping and showing the helping hands to take you and carry you along with you in a better way.
Great.
Yeah.
I wish you could be here. when we open a fair trade sale and people come through and they pick up the products and they look at it and how much they're like oohing and ahhing over it and thinking how wonderful it is. And if that can be translated to the people who produce it, they bring great joy. Whenever you see a great handcrafted product, that just makes such a difference.
Yes. In past, actually, we have done a lot of trips where when the events happens at our customers' place, we are also inviting some of the artisans to come along with us, and we visit them, and then they demonstrate the different art and craft like block print, or maybe the carving work, or maybe making the jewelries and other things. So I think in past we have done these processes where artisans has also got an opportunity to travel abroad and see the other side of the country and see where the consumers are selling or buying the products which are being made by them. But at the same time, consumers come to know who are the artisans, how they make the product by hand. So I think that has happened in past, may not happen in last 4 or 5 years because of the travel restrictions as well as the expenses and other things. But I think that was also one of the way that help the artisan to know the consumers in a better way.
Well, unless anyone has any last thoughts, I think we're going to end here. And Ivan, I just want to let you and Allan know how grateful we are. One, just for your great work at Asha, but also taking this time late in the evening for you all to be with us. It's such a pleasure to hear from you all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here with us and explaining so much, and for all your passion and your work.
Alan has to go for some work. I think his daughter was crying, so he just went out. So excuse for Alan, but I will tell. But at the same time, thank you so much for making this time to know about Asha, but not only Asha, but in general, because I liked all the questions that the whole team raised. May not be only work or trade or artisans, but related to personal, the information. I think that made us really feel free, like we are talking together as a friends or a family. And I think that was really nice to know each one and making a good friends. I think about 6 of them new friends, and I think we can keep on chatting or write to us anytime through Lee's. And I think anytime any information or producer information you require, any artisans information require, any promotion require, please do feel free to write to us, and we will be happy to send it to you or come on call. Always from our side, we are open to serve you as possible. And once again, thank you so much for all the work, lovely work you're doing to sell the. We know this is the difficult time, and selling the products during this difficult time is really hard job. We know that, and we pray that God's presence will be all upon your team, your marketing team, that this will help you to sell, and consumers, more and more consumers will come and buy the products. So we wish you all the best and prayers for you all.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.